Since people are so concerned with things going on in the news and the media and all the hype that's going on, they're not realizing that they've lost and forgotten the basic stuff. That's why when I tell people simple things, they're like, I know that already, but they didn't. Like simple things like I'll use the letter B since I happen to have that paper sitting. I just happen to have a book that opened up to the letter B when I went to grab something out of it. And it's one of my papers in one of my notebooks explaining some of the stuff about the letters. And like the letter B, I use terms like the base of something, or the word B, B-E, or the word bit, because it's identified plus. It's based somewhere. It's like the letter A is the number 1, which has that angle at top, or when it's in number form, it can be a straight up and down line. Now the letter B is the number 2, which is a swoop over the top and then that little loop at the bottom, like that encompasses the 1, but also would be the filling in of a lowercase b on a straight line. That little lower loop on 2, and then the straight line from the left side of a capital or a lowercase b. You have a straight line, which is a 1. So the lowercase b is the indication of that little 2, which is a half of a circle, not the whole bar graph like a capital B. The lowercase b is just that lower 2 lines of a 3-line bar graph, and you do that loop around and you stay there with the B. It's a backwards C also. Now a capital B is a 3 touching a 1. Now I use the word base because it's that straight line, and I use the word B because it's that thing right there as it's basically expressed, and I use bit because it's what it is basically identified plus. It's a thing as it is. Now those words in motion, like are basis. It's a word in motion. So I use words like saying the word base is as subject expressed. It's based. It's as subject expressed. It's actually the word be with the word as inside of it. So the word base is here as it is based. Base. Body as subject expressed, or the being as expressed. Base. That's what it's based off of. And when you move that base, it's called a basis. What we're going to take this thing from and say that it's from now on. Identify the subject. Base is. That's what the base is. Basis. Okay? So I have things that, like, if it's a straight line, that's feminine, like the word base. And then we have the word basis, which is like the arrow of the word base. Now it's basis. It's what we're going to move it forward with. So it's just words, but in these wordings, base would be feminine term, and basis would be the masculine term. Although there is no male or female involved with the wording. It's just, one is the motion, and one is the thing that's going to be constant. The base is going to be the constant, like the mother is the earth that provides the nurturing. The mother is the body that provided the body. The father is the actions that take place from that body. So base and basis are both masculine and feminine, but in able to explain them, or in a way to try to explain them, we have to use some kind of terminology that people will understand. And that's what I'm having the difficult time doing, not for myself, but for other people to get it, because I'm trying to make it simple. And because I'm trying to make it simple, people who think they're smart get simply and easily offended by talking to them, saying, you don't know this stuff. Like, let's say the word Betty is the word B. It's one of the simple feminine words, B. Now you give it 2 T's, plus plus. And a Y means to identity or vital identified, like it's a V on top of an I, or you can say identified vitally. It sounds sort of silly to say it that way. You can say yoke yonder, because you're taking it from the top line only to that middle of the bottom line, then forward. And even if you do it on the bottom, you come from somewhere that wasn't already there into tense, into it, and then you are a V. So you identify vitally, or you vitally identify, or you yoke yonder. It's 25. It's 2, which is the letter B, and it's 5, which is the letter E. It's the word B. The letter Y spells the letter B in number form. It's one of those kind of things. Yes, it is. And the letter Z is the same as 1. just like everything else. Like the letter Z is 26. Add that together, it becomes 8. 8 is H. 1 is A. So A has closed. It's come around in a full double circle when it comes into H. H. So if you spelled that word out, it would be AITCH. And the CH at the end would be a plus. C plus H equals K. Now it's become kinetic and it's become H. So between A and K, you have H. Now we've gone from this ch and we've come back to the back of our mouth to go K. That's why we have to go 3 more. We've come back in concept from H and gone K with the C sound, and we've made it a K. So we brought it from here and we've kinetically activated it into an A. 1 into tense. It's the number 11. It's a 1 with the 1 next to it. It's a J, which sounds like A, and a K that sounds like A because they're 1 and 1. They're J and a K. There are things that have gone around and come back to make the sound again. You have to close your mouth for a J, J, or you have to close your mouth for a K, or close a part of your mouth with a K or a J. You don't have to exactly have your mouth closed or you wouldn't make a noise. You'd be like, you know what I mean? But I'm saying you come back around to make that sound. You go J from somewhere. You go K from somewhere. Just like G is G. But it's a lower sound because it's the generative factor of J. It's J in unseen concept. It's 3 away from J, which is G is 7, J is 10. They both make a G sound. Now A and J both sound like A at the end of them, and so do K, because they have 1 and an O, 1 and a 1. This isn't something I'm making up. This is something that people can see and understand, but they weren't taught right because, unfortunately, no one else has ever actually known how it truly works. I do, and I'm sorry that I have to say it and have other people not believe me and get me to the point where I have to say, damn it, I know, and I'm sorry that you don't. Don't be offended that it gets a little annoying that after 4 or 5 years of trying to tell people this, they still go, well, I understand the space, and I understand the moon, and I understand NASA. And no, you don't. You have no idea what you're talking about. None of you. Not one, not any. No one knows what the fuck they're talking about. I'm the only person who understands where letters and concepts of light came from. I'm the only person alive at this point in time who actually understands how we use words in magic. We've been doing it so long in the wrong way that people go, oh, it's not wrong to do that. Yes, it is. And you can see it right in front of our eyes unfolding. And until we become responsible, smart enough, and determined enough to change it, it's always going to be this way. And I'm the only fucking person in this world with the answer. How would you like to feel that way and know it? How would you like to actually have seen how this earth ends and know how it's going to happen? And no one gives a shit because they're too busy listening to paid liars. How would you feel? I want no money. I want your soul to be saved. That's what this guy wants. He wants your soul to be saved. And he wants to teach you from the fucking simple beginning so you can understand as the grown child, as the young child, as the elderly child that you may be. You are. And I'm sorry for that. My personal being has nothing to do with that. God has everything to do with it. You have pissed God off. I have understood God, and I have listened. And God has let me be the light to carry us forward. Now, you cannot listen to me, and you can be an immature, ignorant child at whatever age you may be for the rest of this lifetime. But guess what? You will be back, and these same rules will apply. You can learn them now and take them with you further into your next lifetimes because you have many infinite lifetimes. Like it or not, I can show you that too. But it has to start with the simple stuff. I can blow your mind with all this amazing stuff, but that's not going to do anything for you until you understand the A, B, C's, and 1, 2, 3s. And guess what? No one does, except for Dan Alexander. And if people were to kill him off, they would only be hurting themselves, including all the tyrants in the world who have this one lifetime where they think they're doing something good. Even if they think that they've been through 4 or 5 lifetimes of some kind of being, of this power, of this kind of thing. I've been through them all. I've been everything you can possibly fucking imagine. And it's not fun, it's not cool, and I don't want to brag about it. I don't care that it's true for me. I don't care that I have seen civilizations, planets, galaxies explode, disappear, disevolve, just miraculously vanish, and all the lives that were there died. I've seen it. I've been it. I've done it. I've experienced it, and I hate it. Because as a person, it hurts. As a being, it's great. But nobody else understands it. So I only can feel it in a personal body when I have to play myself, and I have to play Dan very often. And no one understands how that feels. And they don't fucking care, because they'll never feel it. So they'll look at me like a weirdo when I'm the only person who is conscious and is a Christ in this world. Everyone else has Christ in them, but they don't understand it. They think that Christ would walk around and be like, love, love, love. Nope, not at all. A true risen Christ in a human body would be pissed off at everybody. And guess what? I sort of am, but I love them very much. So it's not that kind of anger. It's the kind of anger where it's like, aren't you fucking smart enough to listen when someone smarter than you can explain it to you? And just admit that you were fucking wrong. Admit it. Sorry. Mom, dad, friends, family, everybody out there in the world, presidents, world leaders, whoever the hell you think you are, you're nothing. You're no one. I'm sorry to say it, Dan Alexander is no one. So I'm not just putting everyone else down, I'm putting myself down. I mean jack shit to me. God is all that matters to me. People, living, spiritual beings, put it that way. Everything that is peopling, happening, naturing, I love that. I love truth. I love being. I love existence. I love consciousness. I don't love me. I don't love you. I love truth, and you're part of that. So therefore, you are loved. But I don't give a fuck about your personal opinions and your wants. I can only teach you what is real, what is true, and what is happening. If you want to deny it and go around acting like a sniveling little brat, you can. I love you enough to let you do that. I love you enough to continue to tell you the truth and maybe possibly annoy you to the point where you fucking kill me off or put me in jail to shut me up. But all you're doing is punishing yourself. And you're punishing Dan in a personal form, but the being inside me is happy as shit knowing that as soon as I'm out of this world, I can go on to what I'm supposed to do next. And it is great. And I can't even explain it to anyone in this world because none of their minds are conscious enough to understand it. And once someone can show me, they will understand some amazing shit. Once they can show me that they're starting to understand what I'm talking about and they're really cleaning their body out and they really care about what's going on in the world, I can show them some amazing magic that they've never even wondered about. But until then, I'm not interested in pleasing or making anybody happy. I'm interested in saving their soul. That's it. The soul that I'm talking about is the part of them that is the one of us that is dying. And I feel everything. I feel all the world's problems. And not just on a minor form like, we all feel it. We're all going through it. Not the way I am, fuckers. And I'm not trying to sound cool. And I'm not trying to be rude. I'm just trying to make a damn point. You don't feel the truth like I do. I'm not trying to sound cool. It's not cool. I'm just sick of having people think that I should just be everybody else like an average Joe and go fucking work somewhere when I can help you. I can help us get out of this. So shame on anyone who tells me I should just go back to a fucking job and do that. But guess what? Because I'm trying to be a nice person and I don't want to get my body shot up and put into jail from some fucking nitpicking fucking politically ran police moron or military-based asshole, that because I'm kind enough to not want my body put to death or put to silence so that I can continue to be here and help people as slow as it may take, I'll play along and do the system. But guess what? Fuck the system. Every moment that I'm in it, I hate it as a person. Every moment that I'm living in it, I love the beings that those people are, playing their spiritual definitions. But until they understand how it works, they're always going to be whatever their name says and whatever I know them to be. I created this, and I know you better than you. It doesn't mean that I can stop you from harming me other than in a physical way, because I decided not to allow myself to be able to do that this time. Every other time, I've destroyed galaxies. I've destroyed civilizations. I know how that fucking sounds. Believe me. It's not going to happen this time. So you don't have anything to worry about in the physical world. But the spiritual world has followed me. And it is harming you because you are using it wrong. I am not. I am trying to teach you how it really works if you can get your fucking head out of the cloud and get your head off of your fucking TV and phone and come see me in person. Quit telling me to make fucking online videos because they don't do shit for people who really aren't awake, who can't pay attention for more than a few minutes. They need to come experience it as a person, not through technology. No offense to technology, but it has to be real. It has to be. No one out there who thinks they're doing anything for freedom is going to do anything major until they hear what Dan Alexander has to fucking show them. Whether they like it or not, whether they've been through whatever they've been through for 20 years, it doesn't matter. I've been through billions of civilizations and existences, and I'm not fucking playing. Come kill me. I don't care. I've died too many times to give a fuck about dying. But I don't want to walk around and be this angry every moment of every day. Would you want to be? No. My physical body still feels it out of stress. It's not like I can be this angry and then clear my mind and meditate myself into healing. No, I'm angry. I want to be out of this world. I want to be done as Dan if people don't start listening. Because on a constant, every moment basis in time, I feel like I'm in such slow motion with a bunch of retarded people. It's too much to handle sometimes. I can't just sit and be quiet and smiley while everyone around me is just fucking killing themselves and allowing it to happen to others when I can actually help them if they decide to cooperate. But they don't want to because they're big children. I just want people to think about it. I'm not trying to offend you. I'm saying all of this because I love you so much. And I'm here to save your soul. That's why I'm saying it. Not because I think it's cool. I know how dumb I sound. I know how people are going to whatever. But guess what? It's true. Believe it or not. Christ, God, it speaks through somebody. Whatever you want to call it. Whatever your religion. Whatever your background. Your race. Names the most supreme being. It speaks through me. And it always will from now on. So, if you want help, it's waiting for you. It's here, like it or not. And you should love it. Dummies. Now, open up your hearts and minds and hear this for what it actually has to offer. I love you. God bless all of us.